Son calls you a rule breaker and bans you from the daycare, even though what you did wasn't related to the lights. He then calls on the other animatronics for security, even though he just kicked you out of the area you're not supposed to be. Freddy is also here, even though just a second ago we could see that he wasn't. And also, that doesn't even make sense with what he said before.
Gregory, I am unable to reach you. Check the daycare security desk for a security badge, then let me in.
Gregory never let Freddy into the daycare, so Freddy shouldn't even be here. The other animatronics just forget about where you are the moment you jump into Freddy. They just think you disappeared and stop being aware of where you are, even though you went into Freddy right in front of them. So I guess the animatronics just don't have object permanence for some reason. And how are they all here? Yes, Son just called a security alert, but that was less than 5 seconds ago. They obviously wouldn't have enough time to get here, which means that they were all already here, which is an astronomical coincidence considering they don't know where you are, so they just happen to be in the same area as you. And that's going to be a pattern throughout this game. Wherever you go, there just happens to be one. In this whole giant mall with the 3 animatronics that are always looking for you, one of them will always happen to be in the same area. Astronomical coincidence. And even on the standards of characters appearing out of nowhere, Monty literally spawns in right in front of you. Freddy knows that it's unsafe for Gregory to exit him, yet still lets him do it anyway.
Gregory, where are you going?
Why would there be a poster for Fredbear's Family Diner when the company has already tried to rebrand out of Fredbear in the past? Roxy straight up insults Gregory. I sure hope they don't try to make her seem like some sort of great character who is always good or anything when she treats people like this. The game doesn't stop you and other characters from clipping into each other. All it takes is one of you walking into the other person, and that's it. How did these get in the restroom? The game shows you this tutorial, and then immediately has Freddy explain it for you.
We are almost out of time. We need to get to a recharge station immediately. Every hour the power is diverted to the recharge stations. When that happens, the lights go out. And when that happens, the daycare attendant is free to roam the building. It will find you.
Explain to me why the power would ever be diverted to the recharge stations in the entire building, meaning that the lights go off. How could anybody possibly design that and think that's a good idea? Look me in the face and tell me that makes any sense. I will laugh at you. Also, the Moon Man can kill you when you're inside Freddy. I know Freddy says
it will find you,
but that in no way signifies that he'll be able to kill you when you're in Freddy, especially when Freddy already says in this very area.
Do not worry, they cannot find you while we are together.
And there's no animation for the moon like tearing Freddy open so that he can get to Gregory, which caused everybody I've ever seen this happen to think it was a glitch. It is so poorly communicated. And how come Moon can tell that you're in Freddy and is strong enough to open Freddy when the rest of the characters can't do that? Even Monty, somebody who has his strength pointed out at different parts of the game. And also, if the recharge stations have the power diverted to them turning the lights off at the end of each hour, then why didn't that happen when it was almost midnight? The game also just lets Moon spawn in front of you as if he's teleporting into the scene. How is he able to pause in the air for a moment when doing flips? He's not still on the cord attached to the ceiling. Why would going in a recharge station protect you from him anyway? He's an animatronic, he should be able to access them too. He needs to be charged as well, so he clearly needs to have access to the recharge station, so why would you be safe from him in there?
What was that?
That is a fountain. A fountain is a decorative reservoir used for discharging water.
Freddy, you work with children. You should know that they're not brain dead. And why is this where Steel Wool decided to introduce Vanny? She has no reason to be here, and she doesn't do anything here. She's just forced into the scene for the sake of exposition.
You didn't see the dancing rabbit lady right in front of us?
No, I did not. There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore.
Bonnie being dead doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever in this game. They just put in a bunch of details about his death to get people to theorize. Him being gone was just theory bait. How does Freddy not see Vanny when we're seeing through his eyes and we can see Vanny? Gregory obviously can't see through Freddy's chest. We have to be seeing through his eyes.
It's like the whole place is trying to get me.
I am not.
Why?
I do not know. I want to help you. Maybe they want to help you too.
I doubt it. For some reason, you're different.
We never get an explanation for this. Re-entering the daycare, we can see that there are now staff bots where there weren't any staff bots before. Why are they here now? And why weren't they there earlier? Where did they come from? Why are some of the private party rooms connected to each other? That defeats the purpose of them being private party rooms. Pieces of pizza are recycled from the trash can, which should be a major health code violation. What about this cake that's left out in the open air overnight? It's also going to be awful. The amount of supplies in each room doesn't line up with the amount listed on the whiteboards outside of them. When a staff bot catches you, they just teleport somebody into the area to kill you, even though you already know that that person wasn't in the area a second ago, since you didn't hear their footsteps or them talking at all. And having to play a game with teleporting threats? That's unfair.
Gregory, I have identified 2 possible exit points. The main loading dock is located under the food court on the 1st floor. There is also a fire escape in the 3rd floor prize counter. Check your fast watch. I will mark both locations on your fast map. It appears that you have no fast map.
Then why did you say you'd mark it? Also, what was with the awkward pauses in your dialogue there? The elevator takes 30 seconds even though these floors are literally one flight of stairs apart from each other distance-wise. At least that's what I think the game developers intended. I already explained how the structure of the floors doesn't make any sense, but if the floors, if I'm going to go off of how they're supposed to be, they should only be one flight of stairs apart from each other, so it shouldn't take 30 seconds for the elevator to get there.
Have fun and have a phaserific day! That was not me. That was a recording. I want to make sure you are not confused.
Once again, why does Freddy think that children are brain dead? The game throws a cheap jump scare at you by having Mattbot show up and do this to you.
Hi, please take this map. Take a map.
Steelwool doesn't understand that throwing jump scares all over the place doesn't make a game scary, which is especially inexcusable because this is a FNaF game, and FNaF 3 tried to do that same thing and failed, and people didn't think it was scary, and that's the entire reason why games were made after that point. So, it's inexcusable that Steelwool didn't get the memo here. It doesn't help that Mattbot is supposed to be a greeter, yet he follows you around like a creepy stalker. Mattbot hands you a physical paper map, only for it to then show up on your Fazwatch as a digital map. When you summon Freddy, he can appear in areas that you can't access. How's that supposed to help? There's an open vent low enough that anybody can walk into it and bypass security. Why are there vents on the map? There's also a wind-up Music Man toy in the vents. Steelwool couldn't have gone a second without making there be some kind of threat in this game. And when everything's threatening, nothing will be. It makes it so that they can never build up tension, and building up tension is one of the most important things for horror. There's no tension if there's always something going wobble-ob on the screen that you have to get rid of or avoid. This whole vent section is just you running in a straight line from a threat, which is really, really boring game design. And somehow Gregory is able to do clean turns when sliding in a straight direction. It is truly amazing how little thought was put into this game. Like, how did they manage to create something so nonsensical on every conceivable level? It's bad. It's really bad.